Hello everyone, it's Leon here, and I'm joined by Joel.
Hi.
And we're looking at some Killzone multiplayer, which I was playing the other week, and I really enjoyed it, actually.
Good. I think Killzone's always been really underrated in its multiplayer.
Yes.
I thought Killzone 3 was excellent multiplayer-wise, and this looks very, very pretty.
The one thing I noticed when I played it, I thought was really interesting, or made me really like it, was there was a point where, in a level, there's a shopping mall level.
This one?
No, this is a train station. Interestingly, the move to vectors put it in like some very sort of more down-to-earth kind of setting, so like shopping malls, train stations, sort of gardens. You've got less of that kind of, orange kind of wasteland of the previous games.
That's good.
But there's a lot of, what I liked was there were moments like this where you were actually having kind of like back and forth gunfights. So you'd have a few people like trading gunfire, and it wasn't like Call of Duty where
you're dead straight away.
Yeah, just like it's just Twitch dead.
Yeah,
you were actually trading shots.
I've always thought that was something Killzone did really well. I also think the class system in Killzone works brilliantly. How is that now? Is that a lot different? Or?
They've actually simplified it even more, because they each game they kind of they get rid of a class, don't they, and sort of combine stuff. So now you've basically only got support, assault, and kind of like a sniper class, and that's it.
Oh wow, there was like at least 6 before.
There was 6 before, yeah, but sort of engineer, and what they've basically done is they've decided that what they were saying in the presentation was you are either like you go out all attack, you try and help people, or you try and stay hidden. Those are the sort of the 3 main ways you play it. So they've rolled in a lot of kind of behaviours together. So the support character he does sort of the medical stuff, he does the turret stuff.
Because the turrets are quite big in Killzone. People use a lot of turrets,
and now they've got the owls as well. So nice. The owl you have in the game sort of does everything, and in multiplayer the way they balanced it is you have specific owls for specific jobs. So you have like a stun owl, you have like a gun owl, you have like a healing owl, so you can only sort of take one with you. And it does work really well. I played quite a sort of an attacky stealth class for quite a while, so I had like a sort of cloaking device. I think it was a stun owl now, I can't remember.
So we're saying that was like a shield owl, right? That one he just
that was a shield ability. That's one
because in the normal game that's like you use
that's the owl. Yeah, no, this is like a deployable shield that you drop a bit like a turret.
Okay.
And you can really, I mean, if you work together, you can get some really good tactics. So you get like someone with a couple of owls or turrets involved. You get someone with the shields. You get someone with some healing. And you can get quite a sort of cohesive sort of unit sort of thing going on.
One thing I'm noticing, or maybe I'm seeing it wrong, is that the score, the points for doing various things seem to like rank up as you do them. It's not like you've killed a man, here's a load of points. Like while you're shooting him, it seems to be going up. Is that true, or am I just saying things?
Do you know what? I can't remember that. The thing they've done with this is that you level up now through challenges. So rather than say Call of Duty, Call of Duty, you can basically be very bad at Call of Duty, but you just get rewarded for the amount of time you played it.
Yeah.
So what happens here is essentially I think it's 1,500 challenges.
Wow, that's a lot of challenges.
And it's effectively you could be level 1,500 because you sort of almost go up a level per challenge.
Oh my gosh.
The way it works is so that it might be, get 10 headshots with a certain gun. It might be shoot a guy cooking a grenade. It might be kill a beacon carrier while he's running away with the beacon, that sort of thing.
Right.
And so you have to do these things to level up, and that's how you unlock sort of more attachments.
So you don't just get points that sort of fill an XP bar, and you
there's no XP. No.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So you do have to.
It's a bit weird.
It's interesting though. I mean, you do have to essentially do stuff to unlock things. You can't. Like I say, like Call of Duty Battlefield, you basically get rewarded for chunks of time. Yeah. So if you do want to earn a particular piece of equipment or a particular attachment for your gun, you then have to look at the challenges and go, okay, well, I need to.
So specific challenges unlock specific guns and stuff. It's not just like X level gets this; it's this challenge gets this.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And you will. I mean, I spoke to the lead designer, and sort of saying, so in theory, you get to a point where you've done sort of all the challenges that you sort of can do, or you have done naturally, and you then have to start looking for new
specific stuff. Yeah. I guess that forces you to play the game in a slightly different way then. Once you're going, well, I now have to melee 20 people in one round.
Yeah, it changes your sort of behaviour.
Yeah.
I found quite interesting as well when I was playing it that I played like, say, a sniper class for a while, or the assault class, or the support class, and after a little while I'd be like, well, this is my class. I can't see any way of playing it differently now. And then for purposes of testing it, I'd better change. And then you change to a new class, and 10 minutes later you go, this is my class. I can't see any way of changing
Oh,
it.
that's good, because I've got some... I mean, I'm not very good at first-person shooters in multiplayer, but I always play in pretty much the same way. So it's nice to think that there might be ways of changing it up. What about modes? Let's talk modes.
There's the usual sort of Warzone stuff, which is the one that sort of cycles around trying different things.
Right.
And there's sort of deathmatch stuff. There's a sort of a capture the flag thing where there's a beacon that they... like the propaganda speaker before, now it's like a beacon.
Right.
And there's a sort of a territory mode where you're running around.
Because in 3 they had what I'm going to suggest might have been called Operations, but I could be wrong about that, which is the one that had like cutscenes and story stuff in it.
Yeah, so there's no sort of special operations kind of thing, but what they've done this time is they've created a user-generated kind of system, so you can set up different kind of maps, different kind of conditions, so you can kind of create your own
mode.
And they'll be curating it. So apparently they've got like 18 months. They've got like a team of people who are going to be tweaking and adjusting and uploading and changing according to what people want.
Okay.
So we played we played 2 different modes that they created. One was called Run Gun Capture Fun, where all you had was a sort of a magazine-loaded semi-auto shotgun,
right?
Quite low health, and it was a sort of a territory mode. So everyone was basically pegging it around. Where they had a dash ability, the assault's dash ability.
Okay.
Pegging it around, firing off like clips and clips and clips of shotguns, like taking people out. It's really fast. You keep spawning, you keep dying.
Right.
And it's just really good fun. It was just set up to be really quick and really immediate.
What's this thing in the bus that they keep fiddling with? That thing on the left.
Oh, this is So it's like it's a bit like headquarters, I think, in sort of COD, where there's like bombs. You have to plant bombs on set points, and then so one team has to find them and disable them. Another team has to either plant them and protect them.
Right. What about guns? They all look fairly functionally like what you'd expect from guns. Are there any weird futuristic laser guns with, I don't know, that talk to you? Or...
Yeah, no, there's no talking guns. There's a really good kind of charge pistol which you get as a sniper, and it's a bit like kind of Halo's charge pistol, where you hold it down, it charges up, and you sort of wobbles a bit, but it fires like an explosive bullet. Okay. So that was my kind of a tacky sniper thing, where I would sort of run in with that fully charged, and then unleash it at the first person I saw. And if you got you get a one-hit kill if you were lucky. Right. But you have that charge kind of mechanic.
I remember some of the perks from 3, like you could basically get like really, really good stealth camo at a certain point where you were basically invisible all the time.
You are. The stealth camo does make you invisible, but you can only use a knife while you have it.
Oh, okay.
But it is quite, you are creeping around sort of Predator style, and then you can knife someone. But that's all you can do, so you're limited in that way.
Because I remember you could I think you could snipe before. You could maybe use like
you could upgrade it before, couldn't you? Yeah. So
like
you'd lose it as soon as you take a shot. You'd lose it when you move. Now you are basically kind of invisible all the time, but you can only sort of knife people.
Right. Okay.
So it works. It's really good.
And maps wise, everything looks kind of blowy uppy. Is there like dynamic maps? This is obviously the big thing in like Battlefield, and to some extent COD has it as well. The maps like shift halfway through the level, the game modes.
Yeah, there wasn't anything that I played that was dynamic. I can't remember now if they said they were. Actually, that's quite bad. I should double check that actually.
Okay.
But yeah, they weren't like doors opening or bridges
big
falling
buildings
like that.
coming crashing down.
No, just the big maps are well designed. They lots of sort of alternate routes. You didn't sort of feel like there's one bottleneck that it was all kind of firing into.
And like the movement is the movement in the single player I played felt slightly quicker than Killzone 3. Is that the same in multiplayer?
Yeah, so I mean it's that Shadow Marshal thing. So you're supposed to be a Shadow Marshal. You're supposed to be a little more sort of agile.
Yeah.
And so you're a little faster. It's still got that kind of weight and that sort of heaviness to it. You do feel like a real human being, which again I think is what separates it from COD. You're not sort of zipping around like you're on ice with these magic insta-death bullets.
Is there anything like bots versus like a co-op-y thing, like a Spec Ops or a Zombies or anything like that?
There's a bot mode, which I haven't played. I saw it in a menu. I know it's there. There is a co-op mode, but they won't sort of say what it is yet. They haven't sort of. It won't be the campaign, so it's going to be separate to the campaign. It will be some kind of separate co-op mode.
Huh, that could be interesting.
But they're talking about being really flexible post-launch, where they can sort of change everything. I asked them, what they thought it would be like in a year, and it could be completely different. They got this team ready, and whatever the sort of community asks for, and whatever people are sort of talking about, they can patch in, they can change it.
Okay.
So it could be, 6 months down the line, it could be a completely different game depending on what people want, for better or worse, I guess.
I really like the whole aesthetic of it. I really like the HUD and the little pop-ups and the icons, and it's got a really nice sort of clean future-y feel to it.
Oh yes, I mean it's beautiful to look at. I mean it's
stunning.
And it's 60 frames a second in multiplayer. I think because the maps are smaller and it doesn't have to do larger open worlds. It hits this 60 frames a second, whereas in single player it's about 35 plus.
Right.
But then it's a much larger map.
Is it in 1080p?
I honestly
People
can't
seem to
remember.
really care about that at the moment.
I'll have to double check that as well.
Yeah, because I mean I was just playing PS3 Battlefield, and like compared to that doesn't look very good at all.
I think that's my problem as well. Is I played quite a lot of this when I was out there, and now it's sort of broken current gen for me.
Yeah,
because you see this kind of the crispness and the smoothness and just the textures.
A whole flowers for Algernon thing. It's like once you've had one thing,
Yeah.
you can't go back to the other. This looks beautiful though. I'm considering what games to get at launch. I'm obviously going to get FIFA, and I think I want a shooter, but I'm not quite sure which one. But this is possibly winning the race for me at the moment. It does look really, really nice.
I'm really looking forward to playing more of it as well because of this sort of the openness in the single player. You can do all these different routes. So we did that video earlier showing the different ways to play, and I didn't realise how many options there were. Yeah, this level's lovely. We did one here, one of the custom modes called Paranoia in the Park, where everyone basically had one life, cloak, and the really slow, powerful bolt-action rifle. So there's like a sniper rifle that it's like a cannon, and it's like one hit kills, but it takes like about 4 or 5 seconds to lift the bolt and reload it.
I really like the idea of having like user-generated modes, because some people will come up with some really clever things. It was a bit like, I mean, back in the day when you played GoldenEye on the N64 and you had like, I don't know, only golden gun with this, that and the other, and like you could set it up so it played like a completely different game.
Exactly, yeah, and they're aiming for that, and aiming as well to add. One of the things they seem quite keen on is if people can't create a certain mode or they can't create a certain thing, they're going to look into ways of making it possible.
Right. They're a good bunch of guys over at Guerrilla. I remember going to see them for Killzone 3, and they're really, really like on the ball in terms of what people want and what they're doing. And like the AI has always been spectacularly good in Killzone, but like even in multiplayer, they kind of got a really good sense of how the systems should mesh together, and there's always been a really good balance to it. Like I've always felt that you can get by with skill more than you can in things like COD, where like it depends how much you've grinded to get the better weapons and stuff like that, or just how much you know the maps.
Yeah.
But the map design, look, this is a really pretty map. I really like
lovely,
having some sun for a change.
But it's, as I said earlier, it's the thing I noticed when I was playing it, where there was a gun battle that was a trade, and it was back and forth and like a volley, and it wasn't just everyone.
Yeah, that's so rare in most first-person shooting multiplayers. The best you can do is hide around a corner, and then someone comes to the other side and knifes you in the back.
Yeah, and because of the way they strip the classes down as well, you do tend to kind of, even if you're not working together, you spot a class and kind of go, well, they can help me or I can help them. And like assault class is a hammer, support class is full of kind of useful tools, and sniper class is a kind of lone wolf, but you can hang back and hold on to.
How many players?
Balls, I can't remember.
Okay, because that again, I mean, Battlefield's doing what, 64 now.
Yeah,
so that's. Quite
I'll double check.
lot.
I'll stick these up as captions as my woeful lack of knowledge goes past.
Yeah, because I think, I mean, that will make a difference. I mean, I'm not, as Mag proved to us all, bigger isn't always better. But the sort of FPS arms race at the moment, things like player numbers and Ps, 1080 versus 720Ps and stuff, does all seem to be quite a hot topic.
No, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens when it comes out, because obviously you've got COD and Battlefield that are sort of basically doing the same thing, and I think a lot of people might be looking for something different and be quite surprised what they get out of this.
Well, that was nice.
Oh, yeah, the melee stuff's brutal.
That was like a reverse melee thing.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. It sort of almost kind of arbitrarily decides if you both go for melee at once, one of you wins and you get like a counter.
Right, yeah, I remember that actually. They had that before. Good, brutal melees.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Keep an eye on the site for more stuff. Any questions, let us know, and I'll fill in the bits I missed as captions over the top.